The countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. They just had the largest oil reserves, light sweet crude, discovered off of Guyana over a year ago. You have Venezuela's resources as well, with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have 31% of the world's fresh water in this region. It's just off the charts. We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game. Of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua, with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle. Argentina. All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors, apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Onto this life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. And a historic day, or for historic news that took place. And the same agenda, the same people that's been ruining lives are doing the same thing over and over again. So we can clearly see what was this people's true agenda, which is plain to say. Even though the U.S. president himself has stated how they're going to take the oil, so they're not sugarcoating it no more. They're just letting it be known. They don't like you. You got something that they want. They come in to take it, and everybody and their mama can agree with that. Any idiot that sit there and say, oh, they just out there to free the people, you're just that an idiot. Matter of fact, damn. Hold on. There's another video. And here's the idiots. It's ironically funny though. I'm gonna name some countries that did the U.S. did take down their leaders, and the country's never been stable ever again. Libya, Gaddafi, a mob of people took down their leader, aided and throw the great overthrow of their leader. What ended up happening? Libya to this day is not stable. Iraq, they did the same thing. Iraq is nothing but a puppet to the U.S. back entrance. All right, Syria, that took forever, and now that president of Syria, he had to flee to Russia. There's a common trend here. Now, how these leaders treat their people, we're not there per se, but if history shows and history is correct, they did this for no apparent reason, because now you're dealing with the devil directly. All right. Now the devil has your resources. The same devil that treats you like shit, you're happy that they overthrow that particular government. And a lot of times you see these guys and these gals in these different countries. A lot of them be actors too, crisis actors, because we got the way this man got taken down. Well, I'm gonna put this up tomorrow, but earlier is suspect. Okay, real suspect, meaning everybody in his surroundings had to give this guy up. They said, how did the helicopter drive so low? So everybody that's involved with it, that was involved with Maduro, they're all sellouts. They're all pieces of shits. Okay, and that's plain to say. And for all you people that that come from that country and you're excited, okay, be excited. Your ass is toast. Your ass is grass in the U.S. And that's the fucked up thing. For the past year, Donald J. Trump's administration was hunting your asses down. He didn't give a damn if you came here in a visa or not. His administration was coming for you. All right. This is what proves that our people are slow-minded. They're idiots. And the Lord, I got upset at first because I'm tired of seeing the bad guy win. I'll be real. It's like, come on, Lord. Like, but it's the Lord's show. The Lord knows exactly what He's doing. Yahweh Shem Shai is masterful with His planning. And after did the show earlier with the bros, because we had to do camp inside, start thinking about it. Like, okay, what is this man really doing? He's being proudful, very, very proud. All right, pride is oozing out of Nero. He feeling that he accomplished everything. So the peak hike of this country, the peak hike of this administration of Esau, all solely relied on this administration. And when the Lord takes these people down, it's gonna be beautiful. Okay? And I kept saying it, through the spirit several weeks ago. We're in that time, which I'm gonna just get it. All right. Isaiah 10. Actually, I'm gonna go to the point. Isaiah 10 and 20. Salakia. I'm supposed to go up. Salakia. Isaiah 10 and 12 says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the matter of fact, I should go up. 10. As my hand have found the kingdoms of the idols, whose graven images that excel them of Jerusalem and Samaria. Jerusalem represent Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Samaria, the northern kingdom. And right now, Venezuela, Asherites, they are in a world of hurting, and they don't even know. The enemy has came in, and the enemy is not planning to leave. They better fight. They better make this interesting. Thus shall I not, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols? Because Samaria, which was the 10 tribes, all right, they was highly into idol worshiping. So the Lord got rid of them. All right, they was breaking all laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So He got rid of them. He sent the Assyrians. So it always starts, and the Lord never changes order. When He's punishing Israel as a whole, He punished the 10 tribes, and then He goes after the southern kingdom, which are Judah, Benjamin, Levi. Guyana is not that far from there. Trinidad was trying to make a deal with America. They try to what's the word? They try to backslide at the end. Your ass is getting toast too. The hammer of the Lord is coming on every front, and the people that's here in America, nobody's safe. No one is safe. Okay, And it says, wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion, now in Jerusalem, which the Lord is doing right now, all right, those are Israelites that got judged. Okay, those are Israelite. Maduro is an Israelite. All right, he's part of the Northern Kingdom, and the Lord got his ass. All right, it says, and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, and the glory of his high looks. And if you saw Trump today, and the way he was smiling, the way he felt good, and he was feeling himself, and all those guys. What did Pete Hesek said? He said he effed around and he effed around and found out, right? That's why he said. So all these words, and they're telling everybody, we don't like you. And they said what he said that how he said it. He said anybody can get it. Roughly paraphrasing it. They said everybody can get it. All right. There's no reach. There's no outlook. They can get you. They're gonna get you within your inner circle. It's like how they got the Haitian president. They got him in the inner circle to send mercenaries to get his ass. Okay. Here it is, Maduro. They said Maduro and his wife was trying to run into the bunker, a safety bunker, and it was too little, too late. All right, they got caught trying to close the door. So they said basically saying they could get you at any moment at any time. That's what they say. All right, and they proud about they oozing with pride. Before I read the next scripture, the next verse, they just oozing like they just dripping with pride right now. Okay, this is a proud moment for his administration and all his backings, all those oil rich cities. And this was a major move in the international front as well. Because China, Iran, Russia, they was dealing with Venezuela. So now America just cut off access to these nations. Now what's ill about that, they don't need access to bomb the shit out of this place. All right. With the technology of today, they don't need much. All they really need is the proper weaponry to send missiles from one place to another. That's all they ever needed. Okay. And Trump is even saying Mexico's next. So we could clearly see something major is going on. It says Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and the haughty spirit before the fall. So the Lord is priming this man up. All right. He's building this man up. He's making this man feel himself. This man is feeling himself now. Okay. They could walk around like I brought out this. Gotta bring it out again. Um, Psalms 10. I'll start at 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for his enemies, he puff at them. So he's puffing right now. Okay, let's look up the word puff. Like a puffer fish. You know what puffer fish? They puff up the way they do. They puff up because they want to seem bigger, so no prey can eat them. So their greatest gift is the power of deception, because they themselves don't have much. And if a big fish does try to eat them, they got poison, but they're really docile. All right. In the word Hebrew for puff, it says pawath. Pawath. I'm sorry. Yeah, pawath. It says to breathe, blow, to breathe, to cause to exhale, to puff, snort, to excite, inflame, to puff, pant for it, breathe out, utter, to blow, blast. It's a starting definition. Breathe with was typical stuff, but it's something. Oh, that's all right. So they're puffing at their enemies. They're puffing. That's what it. The people say what that was a great victory for America. So now we cut off. See, they playing a game. They playing chess. Let's be real. They all playing chess against each other, and this is strategic planning. The U.S. is responsible for a lot of things that's going on in the planet Earth today. Russia's distracted because of the Ukraine thing. While Russia's being distracted because of the Ukraine thing, Russia's holding back on Ukraine. They didn't want to destroy the infrastructure and all this other stuff. Every time they try to come to the table to make some sort of agreement, the U.S. give more weaponry to Russia. So the adversary that America has is equal, actually, is superior in many things, but weak in other things. Is like they're holding Russia back from really letting loose. But Russia's influence, because according to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, Russia's job is to guide a lot of nations. All right. And I remember long ago, maybe it was when Trump was in office the first time, Putin had said made a statement, or Obama, that God is with Russia. So Russia right now is being distracted. So during that distraction, and Russia has not been in a global sense, globally influencing and spreading their influences throughout the four corners of Earth like America has done, leaves America to go around and do what they're doing unchallenged, which goes back into this scripture, Isaiah 10 and 16. Oh, sorry, 10 and 13. For he saith, by my strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, I have removed the bounds of the people. What is a bounds? Every nation have their boundary. Scripture says, remove not the neighbor's landmark. All right. Also, Scripture says about let's see if I can get that real quick. The heritage of a person. I believe it's Proverbs 19. Let me just make sure. Landmark. All right. There's several scriptures, but there's one particular. Okay, cursed be the. Okay, there it is. Deuteronomy 27 and 17. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people say, Amen. Right? Verse 22. Proverbs 22 and 28. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. Proverbs 23 and 10. Remove not the old landmark and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. What is a landmark? Let's go into one of them. Landmark. Hebrew word is gabal wal. Gabal wal. Border territory. Border territory enclosure with boundary. Region territory of darkness. So it's a territory. So according to the scriptures, Deuteronomy 28 and I'm sorry, 28, 32 and 8, the Lord gave everybody their own landmark, their own boundary. All right, even to this day. So the whole concept of colonialism is them going and stealing people's property. All right, and to this very day, this very moment. I'm doing this show January 3rd. What's that? 12, 11, 12, 11, 12 p.m. I'm putting this up on the 4th. To this very day, Esau has gone around the world and steal people's natural resources. All right. Which a boundary that was given unto the Lord. The Lord gave that's so they just took a sovereign nation. Matter of fact, let me look that up real quick. It's all right. Um, let's look up the word sovereign. Yes, I no. Let me just type it in. I know I get it. It just gave it to me and now it disappeared. Sovereign, a supreme ruler, especially a monarch. We're not talking about that. A former British gold coin. Nope, nope, nope. Possession, supreme, or ultimate power. Okay, and here it is of a nation or affairs acting or done independently without outside interference. So without outside interference, Venezuela was holding it down despite what's going on in the state. And a lot of that stuff that the people was upset of that regime and Chavez regime, people failed to realize you always got to go back into history in time. One day, Venezuela for the past close to 20 years, well, I can't even say 20 years. Really started with Obama. It was the United States with their sanctions, especially Donald J. Trump. The sanctions that stopped Venezuela from being its own independent state. Those those sanctions crippled Venezuela and then helped the people to be upset. Sanctions are like the classic screw up. So anybody who's dealing with the United States of America, this is why you have a BRIC nation. BRIC nations was established because America was going around sanctioning people. What gave America the right to sanction people was the American dollar was a currency of trade. So if you go against America, they could sanction you. So when these BRIC nations say we're cutting off America, we're cutting off from U.S. Um, currency, right? Before they even did this, Venezuela was being sanctioned so much that they couldn't even establish their own government. They couldn't even take care of their own people. Okay? And they have to do some measured times. And this is all from the backing of the United States of America. So now we see the results, and now they want to play this role as they're the heroes, the conquering heroes, and the freedom fighters, and all this other shit. These people was already, they already had their thing. If you just left them alone from the get go, they didn't need you from the get go. So they went and take a sovereign nation, a nation that was able to take care of themselves, who at one time was literally giving poor people here in the United States oil for the cheap price. I remember. I remember that shit. All right, we're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about you see Trump, Obama, and that was damn near 8 years ago, 8 to 12 years ago. So all this shit that we're seeing, it's fraudulent, it's fake. They created the crisis so they could go in there and save it. The same thing they're doing to Iran right now. As I'm speaking, all of a sudden there's an uproar of the people over there. And this is part of the economic hitmans that they have. So going back to Isaiah 10 and 13, for he said, by the strength of my hand, I have done it. And that's exactly how they acted. And by my wisdom, I'm prudent, so they wise. He said this is perfect plan. This was the most perfect plan that we ever done. It was so perfectly executed and so such and such. Everything went, the temperature, everything. Now him not knowing that is the Lord that's allowing him to do this shit. It says, and I have removed the bounds of the people that broke down the boundaries, right? And have robbed their treasures. You know how much gold is in that place? You know how much gold is in Venezuela right now? Billions of dollars worth of gold. And when Chavez at one time asked, no, it actually was Maduro. He had asked the British bank for the gold and said, no, we do not recognize you because this is during the time they're trying to overthrow him with Juan Guaido, which was a spin image of a Spanish version of Barack Obama. Juan Guaido, a spin image of Barack, a Spanish version. Like they just built this guy out of a cloning session. Okay? And that whole thing, when he fell the United States for the overthrow of the government of under Trump. This was Trump's guy. This was Trump's pick to go over there and overthrow that government for the U.S. interests. Okay, and he's only 42 years. He's young. So they wanted to put this guy into position to overthrow that government. So he had outside forces as the United States and their influences, especially that welfare state, trying to overthrow that government. So now they took down the president earlier today, and now they went insert, and he said straight up, they're gonna control that place. So all this shit is them puffing themselves. That I have put down in the heavens like a violent man. And Esau has done this throughout history, time and time again. History is repeating itself. They did this to a couple of generals, Trump again, during this time frame. So the hits keep on hitting this man, and the Lord is allowing all this shit to happen. Verse 14. And my hand hath found as a nest the riches of the people. And one of the main riches is the gold. Matter of fact, I got another video.
I want everyone to keep in mind that they have the biggest oil reserves in the world. They have 302 trillion barrels of oil. And if you convert that into USD, that is $17 quadrillion. So they have $17 quadrillion worth of oil that's untouched. Venezuela's gold reserves are sitting at $8 billion and they're holding over 100 million tons. And this is what they don't tell you, what they don't want you to know. There's a small called the Orinoco Belt, and that holds an additional 14,000 tons of gold worth $600 billion US dollars. Orinoco Belt, a lot of that gold has been untouched, but there's 600 billion sitting there. Hold on, that's a lot of money. That's getting up there. We're not talking about some petty change, a couple $1 million, no. 600 billion will get the big ball players involved. Another thing is they don't have a Rothschild central bank. They don't have this.
Which is a key thing. That was one of the main countries that didn't have it. So that checklist is getting smaller and smaller. The Lord is priming this man up for the greatest fall in history. Alright? Yahweh Bashim Yahshua is priming this man up for the greatest fall in history. And we keep repeating it. A lot of it is going to seem unfair. A lot of it is going to seem being evil. Like, how are these guys getting away with it? Why is he getting away with it? But, sometimes we got to put outside our feelings and realize like this is the Lord's ultimate plan. All right, this is why I put that first clip, which is spiritual, because she said Venezuela and all these Latin countries, and all you Latin tribes, Northern Kingdom, that love talking white man. This is how he thinks of you. This is how he sees you. Latin America has been the whipping stick for the United States, Babylon the Great, for years. All right, for years they've been raping that country out. So don't get mad at a dark-skinned Negro about anything. He's not the one that's raping, robbing you. Okay? All you guys want to be like Blanquito, but Blanquito is the one that's coming for your riches. And he's about to fuck Venezuela over. Alright, so one of the brothers in the camp I sent that. And we're not surprised and nothing like that. What proved that he's going after the nation of Israel? He went after Nigeria. That's why Nigeria has oil at well, and they got natural resources to help aid with nuclear missiles. So all of a sudden, there's a prime real estate on natural resources. Okay, any place that got natural resources, you are in danger. That's what's happening. It says, and my hand had found it as amidst the riches of the people, as one gathers eggs that are left. I have gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing, or peeped, or opened the mouth, or peeped, meaning no resistance. He made it sound like it was a walk in the park. And that's what it was too. They did this in the 1980s to Noriega. Right, the whole Panama deception when that film was talking about Panama. They did the same thing around this time frame. Latin America has been the whipping stick for the United States of America for a long time. Alright? For a long time. Anybody that's sitting there cheering this shit on, when I mean cheering on you, if you don't know the truth and you just believing that this regime has your vested interest, you're the biggest fool than you think. You're a fool, you're retarded. This is why the Lord is bringing out that wrath upon you, because you're stupid. Okay? I'm being straight up. Because this devil's playing the same playbook over and over again, and you always be victim. And then when he got what he wants from you, he's going to throw you to the side. Matter of fact, he might even cast some of you people out of your own country. Okay? Look, he's casting people that come from those regions out right now. Okay? So this whole thing is just is a setup. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth thereof? Or shall the sword magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them that lift up, or as if the staff should lift up itself as it were no wood. So you're nothing but a weapon, a tool to the Lord. That's what the Lord is saying. You're nothing. Without the Lord, you couldn't do this. They even said they had weather around this time. It's tricky, but everything worked out. So that was the Lord's will. The Lord wanted you to do that. One way or another, well, it doesn't really matter what the hell Esau think. He's gonna be always at pride. Everything that he does, right? therefore shall the Lord of hosts, send among his fat ones lenience, and under his glory, he shall kindle a burning like burning of a fire. That burning of a fire is going to be those ICBM nuclear missiles. America is going to be wiped out from the planet Earth. And a lot of people are talking about, if the West collapsed, the whole world will go to shambles. And no, the whole world is going to be fine. It was fine before the West. It's going to be perfectly great Yahweh Shai is the one that's going to come and meet you and to destroy you. It says, the light of Israel shall be for a fire, and his Holy One for a flame, which goes back to what the first thing that should come in people's minds, Obadiah. And it shall burn and devour his stones and his briars in one day. So that one day that this place is going to be destroyed is only that 1 hour, that judgment. It shall consume the glory of his forest and his fruitful field, both soul and body shall be as when a standard bearer fadeth, and the rest of the trees of the forest shall be few, that a child may write them. So the Lord is about to annihilate, wipe out America. Okay? And who's responsible for all this? I gotta go here. Because yes, we are right now, we've been saying it to the spirit. They are in a money grab. They're in a resource. They're taking everything that they can. Why do you think silver and gold is going up? Because they need these resources. The oil that they stole is not going to be the oil to help the people here or Venezuela. It's to help push these data centers. All right, these machine cities. So now they have the resources to pump. You got to read between the lines, bro. Everybody got to understand what's going on. There's a great grasp of resources in this world. And not just because these rich motherfuckers want to get all the riches. They want that. But there's riches throughout the four corners of the earth that they need to control, okay, to control everything. And just to help with these AI data centers, okay? It says, James 5:1, go now, you rich man, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are cankered, which means gangrene, spoiled, that using it properly. You're being exposed for stealing every goddamn thing. And the rest of them shall be a witness against you. And everything is a witness against this man. And they publicly telling the world, oh, we taking over. Alright? And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Because what's going to be a great equalizer, destruction is that fire that actually be looking what you, all this wealth that America, Esau, and so-called white man, the elites are accumulating right now is going to be physically transferred from them to us. And what's going to make them lose that is that fire. All right? They have heaped up treasures together for the last days. So they're heaping up treasures right now. There's a great heap. Okay? Habakkuk 2, we'll just go to the point. It's 5. Yeah, also because he transgresses by wine, which is his philosophy. Hey, democracy doesn't work. Democracy don't work. All these nations that have committed themselves to this thing term called democracy, they voted their leaders in. But America's saying, nope, we don't want you to be in. We don't want you to be in. So what's the difference? Oh, they say, oh, he was a dictator. They still use the democracy. Dictatorship or not. All right? It was some form of democracy. He's a proud man. He's a keepeth at home, which you can clearly see. With knowledge is desire as hell, and as death cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a ton of proverb against him, say, woe to him if that increases that which is not his. How long? This mother effer really went out there publicly telling the world the oil in Venezuela is ours. Straight up. So that which was in their land, the Venezuelan people, they inherited that land. That was an inheritance from God Himself. I say it like that. From Yahweh Himself. Which part of the prophecy that their feet would be dipped in oil. Now you telling the people what? No, that's ours. because we built things there. So that's our stuff. Right? That's the proverb. It says, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that lateth himself with thick clay. And now you think them taking the oil, you think the international, the national debt is going to go down? Absolutely not. It's not going to go down. These motherfuckers want it all. And they're going to get it all. But it's going to come with a hefty price. That's their destruction. Back to James 5 and 4, I believe. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, it crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, which is the Lord of armies. So the Lord of armies is coming, which is Yahweh Shai. He's going to be the one to take you elites down. This whole machine, this empire machine that you have established, okay? The hammer of this world. He's the one that's gonna do it. And it's every action that they're doing is proving why they need to be why the Lord needs to intervene. Okay? It's gonna take miracles for a lot of brothers and sisters and their family to escape. Because this motherfucker got eagle eyes on everybody. They could find you anywhere. They could phone you. And I have to have a phone. They could find your whereabouts whenever they want. So there has to be a divine intervention. And the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that said Michael to stand up for the people. It's getting rough out there. You have lived in pleasure on the earth, which it says, and been wartime. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter, which is happening now. The wartime means sexually immoral and undisciplined. So they've been living in great condition. They have been doing as they want. Like the scripture says, they're not trouble like other men. But the Lord himself, Yahweh Shai, is coming to meet them. You have condemned and killed the just, and you do if not resist you. Which who's the just? Israel. So a lot of those people are going to willing to accept what just happened. And they're about to learn what happens when you get in bed with the devil. Be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it until he receive the early and latter end. And it's the early and latter end, sorry. So Yahweh Shai is like, look, be patient, because I'm coming. Alright, I just did the show the other day. The woman had a dream, which she had a dream long ago, but she brought it out. The Lord said, I'm around the corner. So all this shit, though Esau may have these little victories, he's about to lose it all. Alright? Matter of fact, we ended up with Job 26. Oh, that's wow, that's the spirit. That's exactly what I wanted. So this one at this point. Job 20:17. He shall not see the rivers of floods and the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be. So in order to have a restitution, some things need to be taken. Right? Restitution. That which is exchanged, or Hebrew word is tamar wara. Tamar wara. That which is exchange substitute recompense, meaning pay back. Pay back from what? For what you have stolen. And then read this loud and direct. You don't believe that Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is the devil? There's all the proof that you need to know. What world can somebody come into your house and take your leader out of your house and you be excited about it? What world does that make any sense? And anybody, like I said, if anybody realize this man's the devil. But that what he stole, he's gonna have to pay it back, right? So meaning that he had to go out there and steal, and he shall not rejoice in them. So despite they happy, they got plans, they got the puppets set up, they got who they want to be involved and all this other stuff. They're not going to enjoy it because the Lord himself is going to interrupt that. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.